Groundwater is an essential part of California's water supply. In the wet years, it can provide up to 30 to 40% of our supply, and in the drier years and drought years, it applies upwards of 60% of our total water supply for the state of California. So during the wet years and wet winter storms like we've just experienced, it's critically important that we're able to capture that water and convey it to areas where we can recharge and really help recover our groundwater basins for future use.
The recharge program that we're doing here in Dunnigan, one goal is to recharge 5,000 acre-feet of water per year into the aquifer. And then also we have a goal of about 500 acres of shorebird or other habitat in combination with that groundwater recharge. These two particular fields grew rice, and in October, very early November, we were able to recharge somewhere between 200 and 300 acre-feet of groundwater.
What is recharge? Recharge here, we can see behind us, we have natural recharge occurring. This is flows in an ephemeral stream that are naturally occurring from the winter runoff, the recent storms we've had. And these flows are percolating into the subsurface and flooding into our aquifers.
Over time, if there's not water put back, the groundwater level lowers. And you get things like subsidence, which is land settling. That could cause infrastructure problems. To counteract that, when there's several years of drought going on, what we'll do is we'll try to recharge, meaning take surface water and put it back into the ground to bring those water levels back up.
So DWR, in coordination with the State Water Resource Control Board and California Department of Fish and Wildlife, are actively working on how to expedite the permits of recharge waters utilizing a 180-day temporary permit and 5-year permit options that the State Board offers. In particular, we've been working with a local agency in Merced Irrigation District. They're implementing Sustainable Groundwater Management Act and their Groundwater Sustainability Plan. To do that, they've identified several projects to allow for capture of excess flows during the winter months and discharge those to the land surface. That really enables enhanced managed aquifer recharge and replenishment of our groundwater conditions in those basins.
When we started flooding up the fields here initially, within the first day, the birds, it had been so dry, the birds just swarmed the field. You would look, you could pick out a small section and look, and you'd count a dozen egrets and dozens of killdeer and plovers and other shorebirds that would be walking around. It was pretty cool to see. We partnered with the Nature Conservancy on this project, and their role was monitoring and counting the birds. And so they would set sticks out in the fields, painted in 2-inch bands so that they could monitor the depth of the water. And if it started to drop down, we could add more water. If it was getting too high, we could cut off the flow into the field.
The state is really stepping up to expedite groundwater recharge. We are doubling down on that effort, and the governor released his water supply strategy in 2022 that outlines how we're going to reach a goal of increasing groundwater recharge potential by 500,000 acre-feet. Just over the last year of grant investments that the state has provided to local groundwater agencies, we've invested $68 million in 42 specific projects that are achieving 117,000 acre-feet in potential recharge capacity. These are the necessary steps and investments that the state and locals are taking to help replenish our groundwater basins.